We start with the blue and white logo of Guiding Eyes for the Blind. We see the beginning of orange leaves in front of a shimmering lake. Guiding Eyes for the Blind presents the graduating class of October 2018. First, we have Amanda and her black lab Adeline walking confidently down a city sidewalk. From up ahead, we see Amanda and Adeline coming down the long corridor of the Yorktown dormitory. Adeline lies nearby as Amanda sits in a booth with her tablet. From their right, we see the new team walking briskly down a path with thick green bushes to their left. Adeline watches as Amanda steps carefully out of a Guiding Eyes van. Congratulations, Adeline's Razor, Amy Sotis. Next we have Anna and her black lab Beanie making their way down a busy city street. In the Yorktown lobby, Anna looks down and Beanie sits with his head turned looking right back at her. Anna and Beanie approach uneven brick curbing as they cross a city street. Now we see Anna and Beanie walking towards us in the dormitory hallway. Anna sits on an outdoor bench with her hands on Beanie, who sits proudly in front of her. Congratulations, Beanie's Razor, Christopher Rokowski. This is Bill and his black lab Shirley walking down a country road with a field beyond them. At the side of that same country road, Bill is on one knee as Shirley sits beside him. During a break, Bill sits on the couch with his hands resting on Shirley, who sits in front of him. From behind, we see Bill and Shirley and their long shadows going down an unpaved road with hills beyond them. Shirley leads Bill to the right as she anticipates the golf cart in their path up ahead. Congratulations, Shirley's Razor, Peggy Morey. This is Catherine and her black lab Coral standing with other pedestrians waiting to cross the street. Kathy and Coral make their way down a sidewalk and we see the street, a parking lot, and buildings beyond them. Kathy and Coral walk down an uneven paved path with grass and trees around them. Sitting in the dog runs, Catherine holds out a red toy that Coral takes in her teeth. Kathy and Coral pause in a paved area of various surfaces and many potential obstacles. Congratulations, Coral's Razor, Becky Biggs. Now we see David kneeling next to his yellow lab Volley with desert, shrubs, and rock formations behind them. From their left side, we see David and Volley walking very quickly and confidently down a sidewalk. David cradles Volley in his lap as they sit on a mat at the gym. Still on the mat, Volley decides to take a quick snooze as David pats her on the belly. Volley gets a loving pat on the head for her continuing good behavior at the gym. Congratulations, Volley's Razors, Patrick Wilt and Greg Phillip, and Dean and Lucy Grosholz. This is Christopher and his yellow lab Beryl navigating around orange traffic cones in the path. Beryl expertly leads Chris down the halls of the Yorktown Training School. Chris sits during some downtime and Beryl poses beautifully lying between his feet. At the exit, Beryl turns to check in with Chris before continuing outside. Chris and Beryl's training takes them through leaves that have fallen in the path. Congratulations, Beryl's Razors, the Long family. Now we have Gary and his black lab Enzo walking through the aisles of a department store. Gary turns to speak to Enzo as they sit in the rear cargo area of a vehicle. Gary takes a break on a metal bench while Enzo sits calmly between his feet. Sitting in the kitchen, Gary leans forward to give Enzo a scratch around the ears. In a close-up, we see the new team sitting side by side, smiling for the camera. Congratulations, Enzo's Razors, the Case family. Here we have Kathleen and her yellow lab, Valance, waiting at the curb to cross the street. In the back of a vehicle, Kathy is smiling while Valance has his nose close to the camera. Valance stands ready on the step as Kathy reaches forward to open the front door. Kathy has a wide smile and her arm around Valance as they sit together at home. As they stand at the curve of an intersection, Valance turns to check in with Kathy. Congratulations, Valance's razor, Barbara McCabe. Next, we have Donald and his black lab Macintosh walking very quickly down a city sidewalk. Macintosh watches Don reach into the treat pouch during a targeting session in Alumni Hall. During a break from training, Don sits in a chair at the training school and Macintosh lies at his feet. From their left, we see Macintosh leads Don over open grates in the city sidewalk. Having just crossed the intersection, Macintosh enjoys a treat at the curb. Congratulations, Macintosh's razors, Daniel and Karen Connors. Now we see Kayla and her black lab Julie walking down the sidewalk adjacent to a chain link fence. Julie leads Kayla towards us down the sidewalk, avoiding lampposts, trees, and signs. Julie gets a treat from Kayla as they reach the yellow textured curbing of the sidewalk. Julie sits sweetly at Kayla's side as they pose at the front door. On a bright sunny day, Kayla and Julie sit on the edge of a stone retaining wall. Congratulations, Julie's razors, Ken and Sherry Hanscom, and the Robert Moore family. This is Elaine and her German Shepherd Kaylee approaching the brick curbing after crossing the intersection. Elaine reaches into the treat pouch during targeting training and Kaylee patiently waits. On the path to the training school, Elaine leans forward and thanks Kaylee for a job well done. In the training school lobby, Elaine leans forward from her chair and wraps her arms around Kaylee's chest. Over the curve of the footbridge, we see Elaine and Kaylee stepping up between the railings. Congratulations, Kaylee's razor, Barbara Ward Blank. From their right side, we see Leah and her black lab Odell walking down a sidewalk with a grove of trees to their left. Odell poses with Leah and her son in front of Halloween scarecrows. As they reach the sidewalk, a smiling Leah reaches into the treat pouch as Odell waits patiently. Leah is in line at Target with her son in the basket and Odell waiting patiently at her side. Leah sits on the bus and Odell lies on the floor between her feet. Congratulations, Odell's razors, the Busey family and the Abu family. From up ahead, we see Everett and his yellow lab, Sunny, coming towards us through the crosswalk. Sunny glances towards the camera as the two walk down the path against a backdrop of bushes. Sunny peeks out from the chair as she and Everett take a break in the training school lobby. As they come down the sidewalk, Sunny is very focused as they approach the curb. Sunny turns and looks up at Everett as he reaches to open the training school door. Congratulations, Sunny's razor, Hadley Drake. Now we have Natalie and her black lab, Ruffles, taking a walk quickly down the path. Ruffles leads Natalie successfully around blue and white obstacles over uneven pavement. On a warm sunny day, Natalie and Ruffles walk down the sidewalk adjacent to a wall of windows. Ruffles gives Natalie a big lick on the chin as they playfully interact on the floor. From a distance, we see the new team training on the path surrounded by green trees and bushes. Congratulations, Ruffles razors, the Howell family, and Ruth Shaw. Now we have John and his yellow lab Marion, just stepping up onto the curb at the end of the crosswalk. John and Marion celebrate a successful training session outside the White Plains entrance. The new team is about to navigate around orange cones on a curved path. John bends forward as he steps out of the Guiding Eyes van with Marion at his side. John and Marion walk as a team through a white painted crosswalk. Congratulations, Marion's Razors, Ruth and Larry McConnelly. Now we see Sandra and her black lab, Wafer, walking along the grassy edge of a paved street. Sandra touches the traffic light pole as she and Wafer practice targeting. From behind, we see Sandra and Wafer looking straight ahead as they go up an escalator. In a head and shoulders portrait, both look straight towards the camera with big smiles. Sandra and Wafer sit on a red blanket in a grassy area. Congratulations, Wafer's Razors, Cheng Hua and Soleil Sang, and Ruth and Larry Ladd. Now we have Rose and her yellow lab, Freddie, stepping into the crosswalk of an urban street. Freddie leads Rose around a recessed tree and a fire hydrant along the sidewalk. Rose and Freddie look to each other before stepping up into the Guiding Eyes van. In a close-up from their right side, we see Rose and Freddie passing by a storefront. After crossing a narrow, busy street, Rose and Freddie step up on the curb. Congratulations, Freddie's Razors, Dalton, Odom, and family. Now we have Sheila and her yellow lab, Watkins, maneuvering around displays at the grocery store. In the home, Sheila takes a break, and Watkins sits at her feet with a wide, proud smile. From their left, we see Sheila and Watkins walking past a nail salon as they train in the mall. On a warm, sunny day, the new team walks on the pavement adjacent to a grassy grove of trees. Sheila and Watkins are walking towards us, having just come around the curve of the sidewalk. Congratulations, Watkins Razors, Carlo and Barbara Galante, and Jim and Lynn Sanat. This is Patty and her black lab, Jillian, walking down a wide sidewalk past reflective windows. Patty and Jillian walk towards us through shadows from a tree that grows along the sidewalk. On a sunny day, the new team walks confidently along a residential street. Walking on the path, Patty looks down towards Jillian while getting support from the instructor. Patty and Jillian continue their training on a wide city sidewalk on a bright sunny day. Congratulations, Jillian's Razor, Rachel Ruggiero. This is Rainey and his yellow lab, Ocho, walking towards us with the trainer down the sidewalk. At the end of the sidewalk, Rainey and Ocho connect with each other as Rainey reaches in for the treat. Rainey relaxes on the couch and Ocho lies at his feet during a break in White Plains. On a city street, Rainey and Ocho stand safely at the curb as a car takes the corner. Ocho leads Rainey past blue obstacles and a building on the path. Congratulations, Ocho's Razors, Jeannie Neary and Susan and Lorenzo Bacciarelli. We thank this month's sponsors for their generosity. Congratulations to Team Marion. May you have many safe and happy adventures together. Many thanks to Marion's Puppy Razors, Ruth and Larry McConnelly, for all they do to support the Guiding Eyes mission, Central New York region. Wishing the October 2018 class many happy adventures together with your new guides. Special wishes to Vikings pups, Jillian and Julie, and their handlers Patty and Kayla. Barbara Brunner, foster for GEB Viking. Congratulations to the October 2018 graduating class and guide dogs Balance, Bolly, and Freddie. From Bob Rollman and Cindy Sullivan, fosters for Proud Dad, GEB Inget. Shirley was special named in memory of Shirley Ada Kessler. Marion was special named in memory of Marion Ritter. To special name a future Guiding Eyes puppy, visit us at guidingeyes.org and click How to Help. We gratefully acknowledge the Fain family for their support of our online streaming capabilities. We finish with the blue and white logo of Guiding Eyes for the Blind. Congratulations, graduates! We start with the blue and white logo.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. I'd like to welcome you here, our group of folks that are here on campus, as well as our at-home viewers via YouTube, to the graduating class of October 2018. My name is Miranda Beckman. I've had the absolute pleasure of being this month's class supervisor, and I'd like to introduce our graduating class. From Cocoa Beach, Florida, we have Elaine Mara and guide dog Kaylee. From Fishers, Indiana, we have Amanda Arroyo and guide dog Adeline. From Cincinnati, Ohio, we have Christopher Milo and his guide dog Beryl. From Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, John Moorcroft and guide dog Marion. From Hollywood, Maryland, Donald Balcom and guide dog McIntosh. From Jacksonville, Florida, Patty Fulda and guide dog Jillian. From Brussels, Wisconsin, Everett Lang with guide dog Sunny. From Staten Island, New York, Rose Manfredini and guide dog Freddie. From Winooski, Vermont, we have Natalie Castillo and guide dog Ruffles. From Taunton, Massachusetts, Rainey Vadabunker and guide dog Ocho. From Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, Kathy Steves with guide dog Coral. And from Las Cruces, New Mexico, Anna Salmeron and guide dog Beanie. This month, we also have a considerable number of graduations to celebrate from our home trainings that have occurred. I'd like to recognize Bill Stevens in Santa Clara, California with guide dog Shirley, David Carter from Las Cruces, New Mexico with guide dog Volley, Gary Skinner from Marana, Arizona with guide dog Enzo, Kathleen Lyons from Buffalo, New York with guide dog Valance, Kayla Reed from East Helena, Montana with guide dog Julie, Leah Grosjean in Raleigh, North Carolina with guide dog Odell, Sandra Hicks from Palmetto Bay, Florida with guide dog Wafer, as well as Sheila Dunn in Carolina Shores, North Carolina with guide dog Watkins. So join me in congratulating all the graduating teams this month. And now I'd like to welcome Thomas Panic, our president and CEO. You're a little taller than me, so I'm just going to raise him up a little.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Guiding Eyes for the Blind. It's wonderful that you all came out. I have to congratulate you, the community. This is the largest class in the history of Guiding Eyes for the Blind. Congratulations. What it tells us is that the need for a Guiding Eyes dog has increased over the years. We've received this year almost 400 applications for a guide dog from people in need who have vision loss and understand not only how a guide dog can change their life, but that Guiding Eyes is amongst the best schools in the world to go to be able to provide independence and mobility to an individual with vision loss. So it's an incredibly important part of what you do as raisers, as volunteers, and as members of the Guiding Eyes community. So it really is a testimony to your dedication and to all of you, through word of mouth, letting other people know that this is an organization that's worth supporting. Speaking of supporting, I'd like to take a moment to thank the people that give us our fuel to be able to provide these guide dogs to people at no cost. And today we have 3 graduation sponsors. And when I call your name, please stand up if you're in the room. The first is Ruth and Larry McConnelly from Central New York region for their sponsorship. Thank you so much, Ruth and Larry. In honor of Sweet Yellow Lab Guide Dog Marion, Team Marion, thank you so much for that. This I have to double check sometimes and get a confirmation from Ruth and Larry. Is it true 23 dogs raised? Does that sound right to you? That's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Secondly, we often have our warm greeting from Barbara Bruner, and she's sponsoring graduation. Barbara, please stand up today in honor of Viking, Stud Viking. And Viking has Jillian and Julie graduating, so congratulations on a successful Stud Viking there. Wonderful job. And finally, Bob and Cindy. Where are you, Bob and Cindy? Please stand up. There we go. Bob Rollman and Cindy Sullivan, fosters of Inget. And I'm going to get this right, Bob and Cindy. I think it's Volley, Valence, and Freddie. Did I get that correct? Also of great success with Inget. So thank you so much for not only supporting Guiding Eyes from a donor perspective, but also sitting our puppies and getting involved with our organization. We really, truly appreciate it. I've got a couple of announcements before I talk to class. As many of you may have heard, our dogs are currently experiencing a cough, and so 2 of the dogs today, Beanie and Ocho, are resting in the rooms and getting better. Just like any cold that humans get, dogs too get coughs. It's not contagious to humans, but we're just out of abundance of caution asking everybody here, if you do interact with a guide dog or a dog on campus here today, just like in school with children, make sure you wash your hands, make sure you wipe off your shoes and launder your clothes if you're going to interact with any pet dogs at home after you leave our organization. We do have a large kennel. We house about 170 dogs in our kennel on any given time. And we're very much in the process of doing a new kennel design. Kathy Zubricki, who's here with us today, is taking charge of that kennel design. And we're going to design a kennel within the next year in terms of the design that will allow us to have more villages where we can separate dogs as they come up with a cough so it doesn't spread so easily from one dog to the next. That's definitely the vision for this school, to be able to continue to provide the best possible environment for our very, very special dogs to spend once they come here into class. So please bear with us and assist us, as you always do, in making sure that we can be as safe as possible when it comes to the dog's health. Wash your hands. Finally, I'd like to talk to the students and just let you know how much I've enjoyed getting to know each and every one of you over the course of your 3 weeks here. It's been such an adventure, and I promised you when you got here and you identified the name of your dog that very first day, that 3 weeks later, you'd be here today. Did I make you that promise? And here you are. And if you have not read the students' bios, I really encourage you to read them. Our students come from all walks of life, different states, Canada, and just have such an adventure that they're about to embark on. And speaking of adventures, we got to take a little adventure of our own yesterday. We went to the movies, right? And we did have a choice between 2 movies. Those of you who saw Lady Gaga, let me know, just holler out. The Star is Born. I'd like to say I'm a fan of Lady Gaga, but I'm going to have to use my poker face, because I did go to see First Man, the story of Neil Headstrong. Has anybody seen that movie in the audience? It's a wonderful film about Neil and his family and his life and being able to get to the moon. What an adventure it is. And it really reminded me a lot of what we do here at Guiding Eyes, as all of those dogs were in the movie theater, sitting so patiently and quietly while we were listening, some of us, to the audio description of the movie, just told us that even our adventures as people with vision loss with our guide dogs have no limits. And I think of us, as I sat there in the movie yesterday, as a little bit like ground control. You know, we're trying to get everybody together in a room, but it's really not Guiding Eyes, the school, that makes this possible. We have phenomenal trainers that take what you do as raisers and volunteers and donors. You are our community that enables us as graduates to be able to embark on that adventure, that incredible adventure in life of independence, of mobility, and companionship with our Guiding Eyes dogs. And without you, we couldn't do it. So I really, truly want to thank you all for making it possible today for us to be able to do what we do. I'd also like to thank a couple of people. There's so many people to thank, but have just made this class possible. First and foremost, Miranda Beckman. A warm round of applause for Miranda. Miranda and I were in Australia just a couple of weeks ago. Miranda practically got off the plane and took this class on her own, with a little jet lag, just doing a wonderful job and not only representing Guiding Eyes to the international community, but also leading this class forward. Thank you so much, Miranda, and your team. I'd also like to thank Jesse in our specialized training program, who worked with Kathy. Jesse, thank you so much for leading that program forward. I'm sure Kathy and Coral will go forward. And I heard Kathy tell me that there's only 1 month it doesn't snow where she lives, and that's August. And also I'd like to thank, we have our running guide graduate, Don, veteran, 10 marathons, training with Macintosh for a running guides program, and running guides training specialist Nick Speranza, who got up early mornings and ran with Macintosh and Don. Thank you so much for your commitment to this program, Nick. Two final notes. One, for those of you who have been involved in our kitchen ramp project, we're in the midst of a construction of a very accessible ramp that allows us to get from the old section of our campus to the new. And with that comes an opportunity to help us with that construction. We have a wonderful opportunity to have your inscription, either your regional inscription or individual, in Braille on a railing that will be put up around Thanksgiving. So if you're interested in that, please see one of our fundraising development professionals. It's an excellent opportunity to have in perpetuity a message from your heart to the students as they traverse the ramp. You can feel the Braille underneath the railing as you go up to that dining area. So please see a development professional if you're interested in getting a message on the rail. And also, for those of you who are involved with the Puppy Center, Maria Lazaro has done a wonderful job getting us back on our feet. We reopened the big dog area this past week officially. It was hit by a tornado in May. We lost over 100 trees, and it's cleaned up, and the dogs, I saw the broods running up there so happily the other day. They found the one and only mud puddle that was out there and, of course, rolled in it. But it is officially open. It looks really nice. The fencing has been replaced, but we don't have enough trees. So if anybody would like to plant a tree in honor of a dog that they've loved and lost, I'm planting one in honor of Melissa. My wife and I had a dog named Gandalf. We'll put a ribbon around that tree. Just let one of our fundraising development professionals know, or send me an email, president@guidingeyes.org, and we'll give you the price points and the different tree types. We want to do a variety of trees to get that tree foliage and shade eventually in the summertime back up there. So we really appreciate your support, or getting the word out to friends, family, and colleagues who might support us in that activity. As you know, it costs more than $50,000 to raise, train, and support a Guiding Eyes dog throughout its lifetime, including veterinary services and follow-up support with their field representatives. And of course, we as graduates get those dogs at no cost. So thank you so much for your support of that as well. Finally, I'd like to ask you to provide us with a warm round of applause for Kathy Zabrickier, Vice President of Training Programs.
Thank you, Tom, and welcome everyone to this very happy occasion. The journey of a puppy to become a guide dog is about a 2-year journey, and along the way, these dogs are touched by many loving hands. And some of the most important people they've encountered are in the room right now. So I'd like to ask all our puppy raisers to please stand up. Now, I looked this up, so I believe it to be true. There are 86,400 seconds in a day, and if I took each and every one of those seconds to say thank you, it wouldn't be enough. Thank you for being so generous and selfless. By raising a Guiding Eyes for the Blind puppy, you have provided someone an opportunity to experience greater freedom, greater independence, greater confidence, and the companionship a guide dog brings. And we are so very, very grateful to all of you. Thank you. Now, the second most important group of people that these dogs met along their way to become a guide dog were their instructors. And so I would like to ask Miranda, Allie, Kim, Deanna, Jessie, Karen to please stand up. Each class is different, and dare I say, each class is unique. And through it all, you have demonstrated great compassion, great dedication, and a commitment for these teams to be so successful. And again, if I took all 86,400 seconds in a day to say thank you, it wouldn't be enough. But thank you for everything you've done. We're very proud of you. And of course, a special thank you to Nick Speranza, our running guide specialist, for he's instrumental in the success of that program. So again, Nick, thank you for getting up in those early hours or those late afternoons. And now the third group of people these dogs were destined to meet, and that's our graduates. And I'd like to congratulate all of you in following your dream, having the courage to follow your dream to partner with the Guiding Eyes for the Blind guide dog. Helen Keller said, "Life is a great adventure, or it's nothing." Congratulations to all of you for daring so greatly. And on behalf of the entire Guiding Eyes staff here in Yorktown, Patterson, and all our remote staff, we wish you every continued success. So congratulations once again. Thank you all for coming to share in this day, and whether you support us with your time, the gift of your time, your financial support, or just sharing our story with others. We need you. We couldn't do this work without you. And again, very grateful to each and every one of you in this room celebrating with us today. Thank you all.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you both for all of your support. And at this point, it is my pleasure to introduce our graduate speaker, Elaine Mara.
Thank you. Thank you. 6 months ago, I hung up a harness. I put away the toys. I cleaned up the bowls. And I prepared to go out on my own, solo. I went to the closet where my cane laid in wait, unfolded its length, and prepared to reacclimate. With each passing day, I missed the ebb and flow, the wagging, the kisses, walking along with confidence. But then one day, when least expected, I picked up the phone and my information was collected. There was a class for me, a dog to meet, training to begin, and a new partner to welcome in. If I could have packed and left at that very minute, best believe I would have done it. For in the bright of bright, the dark of night, unreliable and untrustworthy is my sight. But with a guide, my confidence soars to all new heights, whether I'm in or out of doors. The months turned to weeks, and the weeks turned to days. Before I knew it, I was on my way. Although I had done this before, I didn't know just what to expect when I arrived on campus and began to unpack. On the first night of lecture, out came the leashes, needing to be softened and placed in excited and trembling hands. What occurred between leashes and the big reveal, I have no clue. It was so surreal. Somewhere in between were walks with an instructor holding a harness and a possible guide dog match. The wait was making us all restless. I was thinking it was a black lab to which I'd be matched, but Dog Day brought for me a big surprise. A female German Shepherd was how she was characterized. I had been matched to labs in the past, so retrain, I felt not, as I started from the beginning, for this shepherd's stride was brisk and sliding. She showed me, though, what it was to walk straightly, steadily, and gracefully, even while navigating a fully blocked sidewalk. She indicated with certainty every step and every curb. She moved with fluidity past every person she did not disturb. Until a car would come too close, then she'd back us up and work in reverse, keeping vigilant until clear was the coast. We took it to the next level and worked with other teams. They called it doubles. We called it a dream. To walk beside another handler, for my guide to walk beside another dog, just like it will be next week when we find ourselves back on our own block. We worked through distractions and reworked mistakes, paid attention to the action, and improved each and every day. Now the skills that have been learned and routines put in place, it's time to say goodbye and return to our home base. The puppies have been raised, the dogs have been trained, the matches have been made. It's time to celebrate. Congratulations, today's the day. These teams are off to great places. We'll soon be on our way. We have paws in the booties, we have feet in the shoes, and together we can steer each other any direction we choose. With guiding eyes behind us, we never walk alone. We know what we know, and our dogs will help us decide where to go. The dogs will look up and down streets. We will listen with care. If we step up a curb or take a wrong turn, our dogs may decide it's not safe to go there. With two heads full of brains and between us 6 feet, we're too smart to go down that not-so-good street. Our dogs may not find any ways to go round. In that case, of course, we'll step together and we'll find the solid ground. It'll be better there, with the dog laying quietly under the chair. And we won't lag behind, because we'll have the speed. We'll keep up with the whole gang, and at times, we even may take the lead. So thank you all for celebrating with us as our class has wrapped up, and all that's left to do is introduce my fellow graduates to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Elaine. At this time, I'd like to invite Bethany Oliver, our regional manager of our puppy raising program.
Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of the Guiding Eyes for the Blind Canine Development Center, I would like to extend our sincere and heartfelt congratulations to the October 2018 graduating class. It's truly an honor and a privilege to be here to share this day with you guys. All right, so to start, I would like to thank our team of over 1,400 dedicated volunteers, our generous donors, and our dedicated staff who all play a huge part of the journey of a Guiding Eyes puppy. From brood stud foster families, early socializers, home litter care providers, puppy sitters, regional coordinators, kennel and administrative volunteers here in Yorktown and in Patterson, our ambassadors, and our tour leaders. It truly takes a village to raise a puppy. And finally, I would like to thank our puppy raisers who hold a special place in my heart as I get to work with an incredible group of people in 3 local regions and watch them grow and watch their puppies grow over the course of a year and a half. And today, I get to see 2 of the dogs that were in the first group that I placed as a regional manager, Ruffles and Kaylee, graduate. So I'm pretty excited for them and for their grads. All right, so I would like to ask if you volunteer for Guiding Eyes in any of those departments that I just mentioned, or if you have previously or actively volunteering, to please stand so that we can give you a well-deserved round of applause. And now for, I'm pretty sure, the favorite part of all the raisers, it's time to present to you your puppy or guide dog photo, and certificate. So, I would like to ask one member from each puppy raising family to please come up to receive your certificate and photo. All right, so to start us off, we have guide dog Adeline, raised by Amy Sodas from the Erie, New York region. She was not able to be here with us today. Guiding Eyes Beanie was raised by Christopher Rokeski from Central Connecticut. Guide Dog Barrel was raised by Lauren Long from Montgomery, Maryland. Guide Dog Coral was raised by Becky Biggs from Delmarva, Delaware. From Prince William, Virginia, we have Guide Dog Freddie, raised by Dalton Odom and family. Guiding Eyes Jillian was raised by Rachel Ruggiero from Finger Lakes, New York. Guiding Eyes Kaylee was raised by Barbara Ward Blank from our Sullivan County region. Guiding Eyes McIntosh was raised in Southern Tier, New York by Daniel and Karen Connors. Guide Dog Marion was raised by Ruth and Larry McConnelly from Central New York. Sometimes some of our pups have multiple raisers. So for Guiding Eyes Ocho, we have Jeannie Neary from Cleveland East. Also raising Guiding Eyes Ocho was Suzanne and Lorenzo Baccarelli from Cleveland East. They were not able to be here today. Guiding Eyes Ruffles was raised by the Howell family in Lower Westchester. They were not able to be here today. And also raising, oh, you guys made it, yay! Awesome. And also raising Ruffles, Ruth Schack from Lower Westchester. And Guiding Eyes Sunny was raised by Hadley Drake in Wayne County. And then from our home training department, we have Guide Dog Enzo, raised by the Case family in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Guide Dog Julie, raised by the Robert Moore family and Ken and Sherry Hanscombe from Bay, Maryland. From Northern Connecticut, we had the Boosie family and the Abu family, who raised Guide Dog Odell. Guide Dog Shirley was raised by Peggy Morey from Delmarva, Delaware. Guide Dog Vance was raised by Barbara McCabe from Erie, New York. Guide Dog Volley was raised by Patrick Wilt and Greg Phillips from Columbus, Ohio. And also raising Guide Dog Volley, we have Dean and Lucy Grossols from Cleveland West. Guide Dog Wafer was raised by Qinghua and Soleil Seng from Eastern Massachusetts. And also raising Wafer was Ruth and Larry Ladd from Eastern Massachusetts, who they were able to join us today. And last but not least, we have Carlo and Barbara Galante from the Adirondack region and Jim and Lynn Sanat from Capital New York, who raised Guide Dog Watkins. Thank you all for joining us today. And to close, I leave you with a quote. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Bethany. So I'd like to take a moment and just talk to the team of instructors that I've had the privilege of working with over the last several months preparing for this class. Ladies and Nick, you guys have been an absolute dream to work with. We've had a few challenges weather-wise and a few challenges otherwise. And you guys have every day been so dedicated and so kind and so positive. It is appreciated so much, and I cannot thank you enough. I think that positivity has also helped with our class. And to the class, the men and women you see before you here today have just been a spectacular bunch of people. From the moment that we made our first phone calls, weeks before they came in, we learned how excited they were. We learned their journey to get here. And we have been absolutely blessed to be just a small portion of their journey going forward from here. We know that this is just the beginning and that Guiding Eyes is with you for the long haul. I so appreciate all of your kindness towards each other, of course, towards your dogs, your patience that you've shown with the instruction and your instructors, and for absolutely every day that you've worked so hard to be here. Your accomplishments are great, and you've only just begun. I cannot wait to hear all of the accomplishments you guys are going to make, and I do wish that you will keep in touch and reach out to us, and I know we'll be in contact with you. When I made my pre-class call, one of the people I asked, "How do I pronounce your last name?" And he said, "It's Vadabonker. It means go with a good heart." And I think that is just one of the best ways that I could say, thank you so much for all of your hard work. And I want the whole class to Vadabonker. So now it's time for the certificates. Congratulations are in order for Kathy and Coral. Natalie and Ruffles. Everett and Sunny. Don and McIntosh. Chris and Beryl. Elaine and Kaylee. Also Amanda and Adeline. Thank you. John and Marion. Patty and Jillian. Rose and Freddie. Rainey and Ocho. And Anna and Beanie. Now, as we mentioned earlier, we do have we would love to have you guys get together with the dogs here. Just give them a quick moment to take the harnesses off their dogs and put them on their chairs. And then feel free to introduce yourselves. We will be having cake and refreshments in our lobby area. And as Tom mentioned earlier, if you have any wish to participate in any of our donation programs, whether the tree or the Braille railing, please let one of our development officers know. Again, I want to thank you all for joining us in this wonderful day, a celebration of all the hard work and all the efforts of every member of this staff. Thank you all for coming. Good job. Thanks. Feel free to take your harnesses off.